All right. They're going to be more difficult than yesterday because the side I give you isn't as convenient as it was yesterday. Right off the bat, take a look at the first one. What type of triangle am I working with? 30, 60, 90. And what side did I give you? The side across from? That's the worst spot you can be in. It is. It's the worst spot you can be in. All right, so 30, 60, 90. If you don't like the chart, you don't have to use it, by the way. That's up to you. I like just organizing everything. X, what do I do with that side to get to the side across from 60? X radical 3. And I got to do what with it to get to the 90? 2x. And I gave you what? The side across from 60. Ugh, awful. 12. And I need to find the side across from 90. It's not going to happen. Right away, it's not going to happen. I don't have a rule for you to go from the 60 to the 90. It all revolves around being across from the 30 first. Because, hey, if you knew the side across from 30, what would you do to find x? Just double it. So can you help me find the side across from 30? When I go to the left in the chart, when I go to the right, what do I have to do? I got to multiply everyone, whether it be by radical 3 or 2. Now when I go to the left, I'm going to divide now if I want to go back. Specifically, look where the 12 is. It's with the x radical 3. What do I have to do here to adjust the x? Divide it by radical 3. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to take 12 and divide it by radical 3. Those calcs aren't going to help you out here because I don't want sloppy decimals. But are we okay on why it's being divided by radical 3? Okay, now you got to, I think you did this last year in algebra. I hope you did. You can't have a radical in the denominator. Can't have a radical in the denominator. Not going to help. How do I get rid of it? Anybody remember? I multiply the top and the bottom by the radical, in this case, radical 3. It was probably called rationalizing the denominator. I don't know if that sounds familiar. All right, so, and just so you know, honors kids, the reasoning why we do this, what is radical 3 over radical 3? That's 1. Anything times 1 is it set. We're not changing the value here by multiplying by 1. That's why we do it like this, all right? 12 times radical 3, 12 radical 3, and we do it with the radical because what happens when you multiply a radical by itself? Check, if you don't know, check on your calculator. Radical 3 times radical 3. Just 3. That eliminates the radical. And in this case, you can go one step further. You can keep simplifying. What can simplify? Not the 3's. The 12 and the 3, so this will be 4 radical 3, but that's across from the 30. Now what do I have to do to that? Now here's where I'm going to start hearing from some people. 11, what do I have to do with that 4 radical 3 to go across from the 90? Multiply it by 2. 4 radical 3 times 2. Want to make sure we got the radical algebra good. Or down pat anyway. 14. 8 radical 3. So there is x. Everyone's good there. Cannot leave a radical in the denominator. Anything you want to ask? All right, let's roll. Here's one of those diagrams where it's got both types of triangles in it. AB is 2. What's BC? I always like to fill in the other angle measurements just so I know which triangle's which. So we got a 60 up here, right? And next to the 60, we should have a 45. All right. And we need to find BC. All right. Well, we got a problem. BC is part of what special triangle? The 30-60. And my 2 is part of the 45-45. All right, can you help me get it, using the 2, can you help me get a side in the 30, 60, 90 so maybe I can get BC? Well, what's that 2? Is it across from the 90 or a 45? Oh, boy. Here we go. So it's x, x, and then what do I do with the 90? What's the rule? X radical 2. Oh, boy. That's 2. Remember, I'm going to the left now. So what do you think I need to do if I'm going to the left? Divide, but in this case, not by radical 3. I want to divide by radical 2. So 2 over, that's a no-no. What do I have to multiply top and bottom by here? 19. Should I multiply top and bottom by? 19. I want to get the radical 2 out of there. How? By what? Radical 2. Eight. Here you go. What do I get on top?
You get 2 radical 2.
And how about on the bottom?
2.
Simplify anything?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Radical 2.
So I'm just left with radical 2. And what's that side? Name a side that's radical 2 now. AD and... Hey, what do you know about the 2 sides across from the 45s? They're the same, so if one's going to be radical 2, the other's got to be radical 2. And hey, now doesn't that give me a side in my 30-60? All right, so here we go, 30-60. What are my rules for the 30-60, 90? X for the 30. X radical 3 and... All right, where should I place the radical 2 in this chart? Across from the 30 is radical 2. Where am I gunning for right now? Where's BC? Side across from 90. What do I do now? Here we go. Let's hear from 29. What do I do with that radical 2? Great job over there. 6. What do I do with that radical 2? Multiply it by 2. 2 times radical 2? 2 radical 2. Which is equal to BC. We are right now. So if you go to the left on your chart, you got to divide now. All right. If we go to the left, we got to divide by radical 3 or by radical 2, depends where we are. One more, and then I'm going to start literally sitting with groups and making sure you're doing all right. Rectangle, nice. Always put a quadrilateral in there if we can. What's the perimeter of ABCD? Can we just? I'm going to change the directions on the fly. Oh, I already did. Look at that. Simplest radical form. Perfect. Guy knows what he's doing. All right. I know it's a rectangle, so angle C, 90, which would make BDC 60. All right, so we're dealing with the 30, 60, 90 here. Remind me of my rules again for the 30, 60, 90. Number 30, what are my rules? 30, 60, 90. X. Got it. What side do you know in that 30, 60, 90? 18, what side do I know? Yep. That's 12. Here we go. Can you fill in the rest? Go backwards. $18 again. I can find the side across from 30. What's that? Divide by 2. 6. So DC is 6. What about the side across from 60 now? 3. What do you got for me? Side across from 60. 6 radical 3. And since we know it's a rectangle, opposite sides congruent. All right, so the perimeter, 6 plus 6 plus 6 radical 3 plus 6 radical 3. Combine as much as you can for me, please. 26, combine as much as you can. Not here, great job. How about 13?
It'd be 12 plus 12 radical 3.
Can't go any further, cannot combine those. Questions? Anything from you guys? Going. And you got pages 16 and 17 in the packet, and it looks like some book work. A couple problems out of the book. All right, let's go. Get started. I'm literally going to come around to each group, making sure you're doing all right. You guys know, check your answers on Aspen as you go along.